Hey, good morning, YouTube. Took my damn internet connection long enough to hook up. Yes, so let's draw on something extra here. I'm Craig Smith, II, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the Anthony Davis trade situation. And as the article says, Dell Demps is all their fault. Yeah, I mean, he clearly is. And really, I don't blame Anthony Davis for requesting a trade. He's been, Anthony, a lot of complaints about Anthony Davis, saying that he bitches a lot about him, that. And he has, you know, I'm gonna compare, hate to compare Anthony Davis's bitching to LeBron's bitching that time when he said something about we're top heavy, we need a playmaker. Okay. And everybody got on LeBron about that. Because that year the Cavaliers had the highest fucking payroll in the NBA. You look at New Orleans, they got like the highest payroll, I believe, most of like the highest payroll in the NBA. But Dell Demps is at fault here, okay? And really, whoever's in charge of the New Orleans Pelicans, they're at fault as well. And I provided a link about a lot of things that was all at fault with during Dell Demps' time. Like signing all these dudes these big name contracts. Like the one about because the article is in my link is in the description. Like what caught my eye was they signed this dude by the name of Solomon Hill. Okay. Solomon Hill, who the fuck are you? You got a 91 year, you got like a $90 million extension, and you only average 4 points and you're a 4.3 rebound lifer. Okay, then they turned around, they signed this dude named Antoine Moore. Dude, a bench rider basically was getting paid really the mid-major minimum wage or some sorts with the Pacers. They signed this dude to a $40 million contract. They signed a lot of all these players to bad contracts. Like Omer Asik. I mean, when he was with the Bulls, Omer was a bad boy. But Demps has been known. Demps like this. If he look at it like, oh shit, I got this money in the payroll. Let me get this man these big contracts, and they don't play like shit. Signing the big contracts is one. Okay, everybody said that the Boogie Cousins signing was pretty bad, but I'm gonna put it like this: it helped them out in the long run. Okay, they got in the playoffs last year without him. He got him in there when he tore his Achilles. Davis and all them other dudes stepped up. They fucking swept the third seeded team, which I predict they swept the third seeded team in the playoffs last year, Portland. Then turn around, gave Golden State a run for their money without DeMarcus Cousins. And keep in mind, they also had Rajon Rondo. And what Dell Demps do? He didn't get Rondo back, and then he tried to get DeMarcus Cousins back. So he just viewed them as expendable. He wanted to get stuck in his ways. But he signed all these dudes, all these contracts, and the Jrue Holiday one, man, that pissed a lot of people off. Cause they gonna get this man a 5-year, $131 million extension. And and keep in mind, maybe I can understand why he did that. Cause in case nobody didn't know, Drew's wife, who was pregnant, real bad accident, was in a car accident, then turned around, she was diagnosed with a brain tumor while she was pregnant. So maybe Dale felt sorry for him and just went here and gave him that money. But he should have tested out the free agency. He should have drafted well. Because you always notice in the draft, the only time that they picked high was when they got Anthony Davis back in 2012. I've never seen them pick either in the mid or late first round. They're always picking dead to last in the second round. And they just and that's the round where they just say, fuck, we just gonna draft anybody just to finish the day out. He had bad drafts. Like I said, Dell Demps signed all these contract extended with all these big players, all these bad contracts and shit and everything. Now, I mean, like Eric Gordon, because every time you see Eric Gordon on the court, he stay looking like this. That's how he be looking. He be looking confused as hell on the court. But the dude could play though. He signed that man to a 6-year, $52 million contract, but at least he did stay healthy. He tried to. Another thing, what I didn't like was the fact that this had everybody questioning Dell Demps' psyche, and he never, and I think his answer was so fuckboyish of sorts. When he fired Monty Williams. Why would you fire Monty Williams? The man Monty Williams got his team, got the Pelicans to the playoffs with what he had to work with. Because Dell is too cheap, and I'm not going to call him stupid. He's too pig-headed to actually get some guys, evaluate some talent. And Dell never had no good career neither. Let's face it, he was from the University Pacific, and he had several cups of coffee with teams, like with Golden State, San Antonio, before the Greg Popovich era, and other folks. So does this man still have a job? And by the way, New Orleans messed up. The New Orleans brass above him fucked up and gave him an extension. That's stupid. But this Anthony Davis situation all falls on him because you didn't want to get this man no help. I've always petitioned. Big shout out to my boy Jimmy J. Smooth. We even said it on a recent Let's Draw on a Let's Draw something episode 2 years ago. Joe Dumars would have got this man some help. Joe Dumars would have stood up to Anthony Davis and told this man, look, you shut the fuck up and play, and I'll get you the help. Just shut up. Because if I was the GM, I would have told Anthony Davis the same thing. The Pelicans need a general manager that can evaluate talent, that know what he's doing. Okay? Joe Dumars is the one that can basically guide that team to what it is. If Joe Dumars was the general manager for New Orleans, man, Anthony Davis wouldn't be talking about requesting a trade. Anthony Davis would have had all the help it was, because if I was a GM, I look at all these contracts and all this other stuff, like the Solomon Hill's getting paid $90 million and he only averaging 4 to 6 points a game and 4 to 5 rebounds a game, and you getting paid $90 million. Oh, I'm ordering every player's agent to restructure deals, because this don't make any sense. And for the hell of it, I'll restructure Drew Holiday's deal. Because he's getting paid 5 years, $131 million. I'm doing the math too. That's $26.5 million in 5 years he's getting. All these players that he got, they eating up money. They don't play like they money. And then back to the Monty Williams situation, I forgot about, sorry about that. He fires Monty Williams and hires Alvin Gentry. Alvin Gentry is a good hire, but for Alvin Gentry to run that offense, that system that he uses, you got to draft the players he want. Demps didn't do that. Anthony Davis got to write the bitch. Hell, if I had the team, if I was Anthony Davis' shoes in with the team that I got every damn right to bitch and request a trade. So, a lot of people may think, oh, Dell Demps did do a good job. Shout out to my boy Corey Wolf, by the way. He even met Dell Demps and said that Dell Demps is full of himself. Hell, he even met the Houston Texans general manager, Rick Smith, and said, if you want to look at the definition in the dictionary full of themselves, Rick is it. So New Orleans Pelicans fans may say, oh, well, Dell Demps is a good GM, did this and that, such. No, he not. If he's such a good GM, why Anthony Davis was requesting a trade? Why Anthony Davis don't have the proper help? Come on. I don't blame Anthony Davis for requesting a trade. Now, he talking about he want to play for a contender, and I was watching at the job head on ESPN yesterday. Adrian Wojnarowski come mention something about the Knicks. Man, the fucking Knicks' name should not come out of folks' mouth as far as them being a contender. Hell, they don't even know how to win yet. No offense to David Fizdale, who I think should still be the Grizzlies coach. By the way, thank you, Marcus Saul, for that shit. Yo, fuck boy, just like your brother. The Knicks are far from being a contender. They got a lot of work to do. I say contenders like with no Lakers, big, no disrespect when board ticket TV, but no, the Lakers don't need them. The Lakers do not need them. And I'm gonna repeat myself for third. I'm gonna do a trifecta repeat. The Lakers don't need Anthony Davis. They can barely support the team that they got right now. I think a team that will fit Anthony Davis, and call me crazy, the Rockets. And Daryl Morey need to get it. Daryl Morey need to start loading up the clips. Because he said he moved, Daryl even mentioned, he said, hey, in the arms race, you gotta make sure you got the money for the weapon. You gotta make sure you have the money for the weapons. I think he'd be a better fit at Houston, between Houston or San Antonio. Pop would love to have him. Boston, yeah, okay, but they got issues they need to work out themselves. But I'm more likely to think Houston and San Antonio are possible destinations for Anthony Davis to be traded to. And I think Dell Demps need to be gone, period. Now, maybe if Dell Demps is fired, perhaps Anthony Davis will change his mind or whatnot, and I hope he does. But if Davis gets traded, that's it. New Orleans will be a 16, 9-win team every year without him. All because of Dell Demps. And if you look at my thumbnail and put away and see what I typed in the caption on that's perfectly fit for him. So I don't want anybody talking about some, Dell Demps, he all right, man. How he all right? He didn't fuck the team up. New Orleans ain't even in the playoffs. They're not even in playoff contention. New Orleans get ready to lose their best player. So how Dell Demps is all right? It all falls on Dell Demps. Dell the Demps Dumps. Or Dell Demps. That's what I call him. 3D. It falls on him. And I'm sorry, Pelicans fans. I'm just telling it the way it is. Because y'all know when Anthony Davis leave, y'all team is going to fucking suck. And that's real talk. So if y'all want to keep Anthony Davis, get rid of the general manager, get a general manager that know what to do, because it's a lot of guys that probably want the GM spot, like Joe Dumars for one. Even Joe Dumars said it himself on the recent First Take interview, on the old First Take interview. I think teams are scared of Joe Dumars. He knows what he's doing. Look what he did with the Pistons. Rick Carlisle went 52-30 his first year. He fired Rick Carlisle. Next year, got Larry Brown. He won a championship. So, and he had several good years there at Detroit. I don't know what led to his ouster, but I think he can do it. He's a good fit. He knows his shit. So, if you guys want to keep Anthony, y'all gonna have to fucking y'all gonna have to start from the top. Get rid of Dell Demps. Rework all these contracts. Like I said, again, I ask, who the fuck is Solomon Hill? Getting paid $90 million to average 4 and 5 points a game. If you get paid that much amount of money, bro, you better be averaging 15, 16, 18 to 19 and 10, 19 points a game and averaging 9 to 10 rebounds a game if you're going to get paid that much money. He signed all these little D average 69 overall NBA 2K players. So hell, if I was Anthony Davis, I got every damn reason to complain and let alone request a trade. And I don't blame him. And I'm calling out Jimmy J. Smooth, my boy, in a good, respectful way. I want his thoughts on this, because this all fall on GM, like I said. So yeah, Dale. So message to Dell Demps, your job in the dumps, bro. You fucked that up with Anthony Davis. I'm Craig Smith, and I'm out.